Hi Marine Bio, this is Annalise and today we're doing the virtual field trip. Right now it is 12:53 p.m. and the tide prediction is 1.15 meters at 12:53 p.m. So this is the low tide right now. Sunny. Forgot to add that it was 76 degrees Fahrenheit. It is Sunday the 11th of August. First and foremost we have the butter clam. Butter clam shells are typically oval shaped and white to grey in colour, and as you can see this one is white. Their shells also do not have ridges, which you can see on this specimen. Clams are mollusks and therefore have a muscular foot, which you can see here. This one was found just outside of the entrance of Meadowdale Beach Park. Here we have a bunch of hermit crabs. The main way you can tell that these are hermit crabs is because they have shells that are separate from their bodies, while other crabs only have a hard exoskeleton. Now there are many different species of hermit crabs, but what species could they be? Possibilities could be a grainy hermit crab or a Pacific hairy hermit crab, because those are the kinds of hermit crabs that are often found in the Pacific Northwest around the Edmonds region. To identify which species they are, though, we need to take a closer look and look at the bodies or the legs, as those have identifying features, but unfortunately this video doesn't show it close enough. Tiny hermit crabs. I found some more footage that has helped me identify the species. I believe that these are the Pacific hairy hermit crabs because out of the two hermit crabs that are most common here, the grainy hermit crab does not have these bands on its legs, while the Pacific hairy hermit crab does. These little hermit crabs were also found in and around the tide pools, in an area with large rocks not close to the water. This is a yellow shore crab. It is flat and symmetrical in the body, and it does not visibly have any hair or decoration on it like the decorated crab, and the body is relatively flat and wide. They are small crabs, although they are larger than the hermit crab, and they're about a few centimeters wide. In the video with the hermit crabs we can also see barnacles. These are rock barnacles, and they are small white hard organisms that are permanently attached to rocks. The species is thatch barnacles, and they are identifiable by their smooth white texture and distinctive volcano shape. We have a chitin. This is the woody chitin, which is one of the common species of chitins found in the Edmonds region. There's also another species called the Hin's chitin, but the way you can tell this one is the woody chitin is because it has smooth plates, while the Hin's chitin has raised plates. The woody chitin is a brown colour which helps it blend into the rocks. When I first saw one of these, I thought it was a rock. This was a difficult organism to ID, but this one is the scale worm. It is a segmented worm and it has repeated segments, as you can see. It's also very small, and I think it was about 1 centimeter in length. And as you can see as well, it has repeated bristles on every single segment. How you distinguish this from other annelids or segmented worms is that the scale worm segments are made up of 2 plates next to each other. It's hard to see in this video, but it's there. They're also quite short and fat compared to a lot of other annelids. Their body shape is flat and they have many bristles. I almost missed this one, but this organism is called the plate limpet. You can identify it by its shell, which is dark coloured with white mottling. The shell is also flatter than other species of limpets, and it is smooth. The plate limpet looks similar to another species of limpets called the fingered limpet, but the fingered limpet is typically found in the high intertidal zone, while the plate limpet is found in the low to mid intertidal zone. This limpet was found in the low intertidal zone. Found right on the water's edge. Bioaccumulation refers to how persistent organic pollutants, also known as POPs, build up in the fatty tissues of organisms. These harmful chemicals can cause health problems for organisms and their consumers. When an organism is eaten, these pollutants are transferred to the consumer and they actually increase in concentration. This is known as biomagnification. As you can see here, this sign says that the clams here are contaminated with biotoxins. If we eat these clams, these biotoxins will transfer to us. The intertidal zone, which we just explored, is an extreme environment where organisms develop unique adaptations to thrive in unique conditions. This can be through seeking shelter in tide pools, which is why we see so many organisms in these little pools between the rocks. Most of the organisms here were found in the tide pools, as you could probably see from the pictures. A different adaptation that occurs is the ability to seal in moisture and prevent desiccation. Mussels and barnacles close their shells when exposed to air, locking in moisture and stopping them from drying out. They open their shells up again to feed when they're submersed. These are just a couple of the many adaptations which the organisms that live in the intertidal zone have evolved to be able to survive in these unique and extreme conditions. Meadowdale Beach Park was a great place to go tide pooling and view the diverse array of life that lives in the intertidal zone. I liked going there and seeing so many new and interesting animals, showing that life adapts to different conditions on our planet. I think the coolest trip that I went on this quarter was to Brackett's Landing in Edmonds, as that beach not only had the smaller tide pools, but larger caverns which had different kinds of organisms, such as many larger anemones, huge ochre starfish, and even a sea cucumber. It's hard to decide what the most interesting thing I learned was, as there was just so much. If I have to pick, I'll say that learning about biotoxins was interesting, as it affects us as people, it affects me and you, and it has affected the way I think about consuming products, and the way I think about sustainability. Thank you for viewing my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed exploring Meadowdale Beach Park with me and going tide pooling.